Hello, welcome back to another video of Playing Crazy. There's been a new update with new parts, and there's one part on the map, so let's go get that. Also, I made a smaller one. Pick this goober up. There we go. This is exactly the same stuff, just quite smaller. And this is the beach ball, so you just go on it and touch it, and that's it. You get it. I already got it, so you wouldn't get the prompt, but you would get a prompt when you get it. If I can get in this thing. So there's actually been, this is a two-part update. Second part isn't out yet, but it should be out soon. And when it is out, I can't wait because that's the logic update. So the first part of this update is there's been a lot of new changes. There's like music now, which I'm not gonna play because I don't want to get copyrighted. There's a lot apparently, I'm not sure, but that's really cool. There's also move tools, a rotate tool. You can now rotate stuff. So already we got the update where you can move stuff, or you can move like half of stuff. That's cool and all, but now you can quite literally just rotate stuff. So let's say I want this thing to face opposite way. You have to select something first, press R, and it will rotate 90 degrees depending on the orientation. Also, it seems to be a bit broken because that was a green and it like, okay, yeah, that's a bit goofy. Oh, well, that somehow fixed it. I don't know. It seems to be a bit buggy. This one is doing something else entirely, and then this one is also doing something else entirely. Seems to be a bit broken for the time being, but I'm sure that this thing will become very useful. And there we go. So that's the move tool. There's been a few changes and a few new blocks. So we already have a few new building blocks. So we have in the block section we have the post, which I love that. That is really cool. Then we also have a plate, which this is really nice because basically we didn't have anything like this, and people would use stuff like disconnectors to basically make use of the bottom part of the thing, and this is even thinner than that. So that's sick. That is honestly sick. So I can already make changes to my car basically. So if I go to here, there's parts where I use disconnectors, stuff like this. You just remove them, and I can put this thing called the plate, just like that. And this thing will also follow like the materials. You can actually place material on them, which the disconnector didn't. You couldn't put material on it, so that's an awesome thing. Then we also have stuff in wedges. There's a new like 1x6 wedge. I don't know why we don't have 1x5, but we have 1x6 for some reason. So that's a thing. I mean, there's a wedge. What else can you expect? Then I think there was one more wedge. Where is it? We have the cylinders. We have two new ones, which is plate cylinder, which is really cool. You can do stuff like, I don't know, you can like place it somewhere. And we also have a rod, which this is going to be used by a lot of people who probably makes like tanks and stuff. This can also be used for like exhausts, which, yeah, that is a great block. I don't know why I didn't add that sooner, but yeah. Oh, oops, man, I'm blind. They all look the same. This thing, triangle pyramid. We just like do this. That's a very weird block, which will also have very weird use cases, but those use cases are going to be pretty useful. It's like I think I did need this type of block sometime, but I don't remember when. But it's a pretty cool block. You can do stuff like this. Then if I get a, let's say, a triangular wedge. Nope, not this triangle wedge like that. Yeah, You can do stuff like that now, which that looks pretty cool. And this has a lot of use cases, but yeah, so that's all of the new building blocks. And we also have obviously the, what do you call it? We have, wait, it's not here. We also have a tiny ball, which is cool. Oh yeah, the beach ball here. So we have this, which is like, you know, they can't really, you know, attach to stuff, but can be useful for like making like some physics stuff. And we also have the beach ball, which looks like it's just a normal beach ball, like nothing special about that. Oh, that's cool. It has less gravity and a lot of bounce. That's very neat. Yeah, that can be like cool to make like some stuff out of, like a gun or something. That's actually pretty cool. It's like low grav. And can we paint it? No, we cannot paint it. So it's gonna be like that. Okay, that's fine. Now, that's all of the building blocks, I think. I'm not sure, so comment down below for that. There's been a lot of changes to how like wheels work, as well as how control surfaces work, which that's a good change. So like they basically work better now, which is great. So lag has also been reduced, which is also great. And let's go over two new settings for blocks. So let's go over tolerance in the motor 2 block. Last update was about motor 1's, which is velocity mode, which we all covered that. This new setting, how do I explain it? Let me just do this. This new what do you call it, tolerance setting is a very interesting setting. It's kind of like stiffness, the best way to put it. So let's say I put speed to 50, max torque to that, and let's set this to servo. Okay, max torque to that, and I'll just copy this all across. But well, what you'll do is I'll make this one 0.5, I'll make it 5, I'll make it 10, I'll make it 15, and this one will make it 20. So this new tolerance, basically they all have the same speed and the same torque, but they all have different tolerances. What tolerance does is, if you can see it, these ones are way slower and these ones are way faster. The reason for that, tolerance is basically stiffness. And stiffness meaning it's not torque. Torque is like strength. Basically it will push something no matter how heavy it is. But what tolerance is even though it has really high like torque, like these are all maxed out speed and maxed out torque, tolerance is basically stiffness, where any force applied to it is going to be really stiff. Like it doesn't want to turn basically. So you can see this 0.5 tolerance one, that just means it is really, really stiff. And this is apparently really good for reducing shake on like fast moving objects like jets and stuff like that. Some people said that it's like doesn't really work that well, but maybe it might work in some cases. Not sure, but yeah, I think this is a good thing. So there used to be like, let's say let's turn this into mouse. There used to be a lot of problems with like mouse controlled stuff with motor 2, because like, you know, they would like jitter out and they would go crazy. And I think this will help with that, because mouse motor 2s are pretty glitchy, so this might help a lot with that specifically. Here you can see it's completely fine, but you can see it. Actually, you can't really see it here, but yeah, I think the tolerance thing is pretty cool. And it like also just changes the speed of it. So like, I mean, you have speed already, but like it also changes the speed as well. So it's really just a pretty unique setting. So there can be some use cases of it. Then we have another new one. Pistons now have a new little setting. If I can find them. There we go. Pistons now have a speed setting, which is awesome, and it can go all the way up to 30. That's a lot. Or it can go to 0, which that just means it won't even work. Let's just say we put all these to max of that, set them to not toggle. Let's set it to 0, or wait, you can set it here to 0, but if you press 0 here, it puts 0.01. 0.001. That's interesting. There we go. So we can clearly see that pistons are much more usable now. So if you want to use them for like maybe mechanical systems or mechanical creations, they work. So 30 speed, 20 speed, 10 speed, 5 speed, and 1 speed. 1 speed being the slowest, obviously. Any slower than that, I think it just doesn't even work. Which, that's great. I like that. So new use for pistons then. Now, let's go over 2 new parts added to this part of the update, which are called the compression blocks. This thing did exist. I know this is the compression block, the compress block. Like I know this thing exists. There's been already a lot of tutorials on it, so I'm not really gonna cover much about it. But what I'll say is the new angle lock block is similar to it. So the new angle lock block is just so good. So angle lock, well, it's literally what it's called, angle lock. Angle lock is like they just simplified it so much that you can just set the angle to it and it'll just do it. Like that's just so good. Can we change the thing? No. So this is going this way. So let's say we want let's say we go this, and let's say we want to get this part here 45 degrees against this. So let's put this here instead, like that. So now from here we want this to go 45 degrees. We want the pink part to go 45 degrees against this green part here. We can then set the angle on this. So let's set it to 45, and we'll keep those things on for the time being. Let me just run it. And if you press G, oh, it's anchored. Yep. Whoa, that's weird. It's like, okay, anchor blocks are really weird right now, so I'm just gonna remove that. Seems like the anchor block kind of just blew. It just kind of, what? Okay, let me just do this, and now there's 2 invisible. Okay, yeah, this update seems to be a bit broken. Oh, there it is. Set it to that. Set this here. Pink. Now let's try it. There we go. Now that works. And yeah, it's literally what, you know, an angle lock is. It locks it in an angle, and it's basically just a super easy way to do angle lock now, which that is great. That is an awesome thing. So people will be able to build really crazy stuff, and the fact that it can have like any angle, literally, like what? That is cool. You can also like, I think, toggle it. So compress. Yeah, that is. Oh wait, oh, it's inverse right now. That's weird. So if it's off, then you press G, then it does it. But when it's powered means it will do it automatically. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes so much more sense. And the cool part is you can also turn off its collision. So it just went through the ground. It's still there, but it will go through the ground, obviously. And you can have it be transparent, and it'll just disappear fully. And yeah, you just have a part wedged into each other with just purely just by angles. That is sick. And let me just do this. Yep, that is cool. It seems to prioritize the top part more than the bottom part. That is very interesting. So it prioritizes the top part, then changes the orientation of the bottom part instead of the other way around, which is interesting. let me just do like 30. That works. Or if you want to do something really crazy, you can also do something like this. Let's say we want to make like a shape. So first we look at which way it's gonna rotate, like that. So it's gonna rotate the direction of the L. Then let's set it to like 60. Let's set it to powered off. So when you press G, it will then do it. And let's make it that. And let's place, I think, 6 of these. 4, 5, 6. Well, let's add the blocks. Let's make this one red. Now that should turn into a hexagon. Yep. That is sick. That is so cool. And since it's like the hinge is right at the center, it will always, literally always be in the center. So let me just do something like that. Yep. All of those circles are in the center. So you can do some really cool stuff with it. Let me do something with it. Let me make like a really smooth hexagon. That took a while to do, but it works. So if I now do it, ta-da! We have rounded edges with a bit of a gap, but that's because it's on a half slab. But yeah, I think that looks awesome. Like you can make some really cool stuff. So let's say I set all of these to like 45. You can make like a octagon shape, and then add just like 2 more segments. And so that, yep, I'm missing 2 segments. No, 1. Yeah, I'm missing 2 segments. But yeah, that's really cool. Basically, it's just made angle locking as well as just motor locking, it's just more accessible, more easy to do, and it's more fun to do as well, because now you can just the parts become invisible. So there's no need to like make a whole lot of space like what I did here. Okay, this thing is now like outdated. Oh my god, this is gonna take a while to load. But basically in this one I had to make space just for the motor locking part. Like it is ginormous, the motor locking part. This entire thing here, it's its own system fully, and like it's just not just even here. So this entire thing from the bottom to here and then all the way to the top, and it's like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. It is 9 by 6 by 39 space just for this singular wedge. I mean, like motor lock. Just using motors. How many motors do I have in me? I have 440 left. That's how insane this goofy build is. Plus, you know, the other stuff as well here. So there's a lot, but yeah, I am super glad that like it's just, you can just do motor lock way more easily now, and I love it. I almost completely forgot about a block, which is the hinge block. Hinge. Yo. Nope. It literally. That's it. It's literally just an unpowered motor, basically. But instead of the weld points being on the front and back, it's on the sides, and the hinge being like that. That is sick. I love that. And it doesn't weld on this side, this specific side. That is so cool. Sadly, it's not, you can't like control it, so it's only like that. Like you can only put the angle on it, which kind of sucks, but I guess that's fine. We have friction, so it's similar to like, it's kind of similar to the ball joint in a sense, where it has angles and friction. So let's see what we're gonna use this on. So we just make a trailer then. I mean, for trailer you're supposed to use ball joints, but for the time being we can just use, you know, we can just use this one. So let's see. can use this hinge. Yep, like that. And then rotate it again. Just like so. That's gonna, well, I'm just gonna remove this. Gonna just put a half block here. If I can. There we go. And let me just make like just a little thing. There's a new camera mode as well, which is sick. Which is this one. Like, that is really cool. Oh, it seems to be I am stuck. It's a bit goofy at times, but yeah. Obviously, this is not what you're supposed to use a hinge for, but I mean, if it works, it works. That's basically just a universal joint at this point, but still, you can use it for a lot of use cases, especially like, you know, wheels. You can make it. You can't really control them, which is the weird part, but you can still use them to make a lot of stuff. Oh, what does it? Wait, you can have materials on them? What? That's a new one. Can you put materials on hinges? Won't that like break it? Let's see. Let's set this to 45. That. Copy it. Paste it here. Let's just see. Put a lot of them. And yeah, they will have limits, so they will like swing around like that, but they will like stop at a certain point. Yeah, I mean, they're hinges. What else do you expect me to make with them? It's just a hinge, which is really nice, but they should have the ability to be like controlled the same way as like a motor 2. I think that would be really cool. So then you could like quite literally just make like steering stuff just like this. Why can't this be a part? Why can't just this itself be a part? I think that would be really cool. Just this, the wheel thing on like the wheel part. Why can't that just be a part? Right now I'm literally like using a whole system, but why can't this just be its own part? Like seriously, like that can be its own part. This is just a goofy little creation I made using the angle lock as well. Pretty goofy creation, but there's just endless possibilities really. You can do so much cool stuff with it, and yeah, new parts are sick. Can't wait for the logic update though. I can't wait for that actually. I genuinely cannot wait for that. Yeah, it's so sick. And the hinge. Yeah, it all works so nice. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, I hope this video helped, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!